Hello, welcome. Hi, everyone.
Welcome in.
Gonna wait a couple more minutes. We're doing a live event today featuring Amory Skincare and VitaClay, so I'm intrigued to see who's joining from where. But we're gonna get started in just a couple minutes. If you are joining and you want to add into the chat where you're joining from, if you're a customer of Anne Marie Skincare or if you're a customer of VitaClay, I would love to see that.
Hi, Beth.
Yeah. I am excited as well. This should be a really good call. Hey, hello. If you're just joining, we've had a few more people enter in. If you're just joining, we're going to talk about Emery Skincare and VitaClay today. We're doing a joint interview. Michelle should be on soon. And if you would like to add into the chat where you're joining from, and then also if you've been a customer of Emery Skincare or VitaClay, who brought you to this live event today? Great.
So far, I'm seeing lots of Anne Marie customers. Love it.
Hey. Mhm. Hello, everyone. Okay, we're going to get started in just a couple of minutes here. And we've already started. If you have questions about anything, plug it into the chat. I feel like I don't need to tell you all that. You know that. Greetings, Anne Marie customers. If you're just joining, if you want to enter in the chat where you're joining from, and then if you are an Anne Marie skincare customer or a VitaClay customer. Great. Okay, and we have Michelle here as well. We're going to get started in just a minute. Okay, great. And as a reminder, if you want to go on video, you're more than welcome to go off mute. That's always helpful. And we'll go ahead and get started now. Okay, so today we're going to talk about holistic beauty. We're going to talk about what we put on our skin with Kate, and we're going to talk about what we put in our skin with Michelle. Michelle's here. She is the founder of Energy and the visionary behind VitaClay, which is kind of what we're focusing on here. She's a former Apple computer engineer who left behind a high-powered tech career to follow her passion for natural wellness and healing in the kitchen. And then we also have Kate, who you might be familiar with. She's our in-house esthetician here at Amory Skincare. She brings over a decade of hands-on experience in holistic skincare. Her approach is luxurious and earthy, blending results-driven techniques with a deep reverence for the body's natural intelligence. So welcome, Kate. Welcome, Michelle. And I'm Rachel. I feel like I may have seen all of you before, the operating officer here at Amory Skincare. And just a reminder, we also have Grace on the call, and she is going to be helping with choosing winners and giveaways and all the things that we need here. So, Grace, do you want to start with some coupon codes?
Oh, I would love to. Yes, so we have two coupon codes for you today. One of them is from Amory Skincare and one of them is from VitaClay. So our coupons, let me just find them very quick. We are offering 20% off site-wide for Amory Skincare with the code ASCVITA20, which don't worry, I will put these in the chat. And VitaClay is also offering 20% off with the code Amory20. So, very exciting things for you for both companies, and I will put those in the chat so you can see them. But I believe the Amory code is live for about 48 hours, so you have a little bit of time to shop. And I'll let Michelle talk a little bit more about the code on her side. But yeah, those are your offers for today.
Amazing. Thank you. Okay, let's dive in. So, if you're watching this at a later date, these codes are not applicable to you. Also, for everyone here, we're going to be doing a couple giveaways throughout the call. And then also, we are going to be announcing our grand prize winner. We've been running a giveaway over the past couple of weeks. And today on the call, we're going to announce the winner of the 7-in-1 cooker and then also the ASC Restore gift set. So, stay tuned for that as well. Let's dive in. So, Michelle, I'd love to hear a little bit about the origins of your company and what inspired you to invent VitaClay cookware.
Wow, that's a very good question. And I know it's the most popular question people asking that. I came from an Apple engineer background and being in the high-tech world for the past maybe 30 years. I really came across after I had a first baby. I realized, the food we eat and the food we get from a fast food chain restaurant, a lot of their processed food, and we become organic movement. We start cooking the clean food, and I realized the cookware we use, they're chemicals coated and or some kind of plastic in the cooking. It's just not very synergistic. I mean, just they're not in line. You cook a clean food and organic food and then use chemical food, cookware to cook, so it's just not really in line. I I grew up in the clay pot. I happened, so there's a clay and in the market, and there says, okay, so we're in the modern living, and so there's not much convenient. We want to live conveniently, but there's nothing much natural cookware available for modern living. And so I feel that the clay is really combine the ancient cooking with modern living. So I came across electrics and to make that automation to make your healthy living easier. So with a push of a button, and so you get a really, the natural cooking the food and the interaction with a pure clay unglazed. And so actually you get more nutrients with a low heat, even cooking. And a lot of people say that healthy food is not tasty, but with the clay, you actually enhance the flavor from the unglazed clay. So we ensure the clay is pure and no chemical glaze, and just through the high fire, make sure there's toxin free, no lead, no cadmium, heavy metals, and in the cookware. So yeah. And that's back in 2008. And we started, hit with the Mercury News and CIA, Culinary Institute of America, family circles all came up there, said, okay, high-tech clay pot, old and new, the story came up. So we have a lot of loyal fans since then, they're still sticking with us over past 17 years.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I totally agree with you with the cookware situation. And I was chatting with my husband, and we're always talking about how there's so many fads going on. There's paleo, there's vegan, there's this, there's that. But the one common theme that we've noticed with friends and people in our lives is cookware is not often considered, and it's rarely the forefront of like what's going on with your food. It's always the actual food. Can you touch on the clay that you use and the importance of it and just, how this differs?
Yeah. So the clay itself, when you're doing glaze on a shiny surface, there's actually minerals, interact with your food. So they make the food heat evenly. And so the food texture, you feel better. It's not like uneven cooked like other cookware. And so most important is the mineral and the clays unglazed, so keep that breathable.
Mhm.
So the food can breathe, actually to keep food fresh longer. One time, I went to Tahoe, 4-hour drive. I realized I left my corn in the pot. Oh gosh, I'm gonna grow mold. I was worried about it. Okay, what the heck, happened. So, but I was surprised when I came back and my corn still not grow the mold after 5 days.
Oh, wow.
So it's amazing. So the clay naturally keep the fresh longer, and so you can imagine the food. Maybe they do add another dimension of the flavor to the food. So a lot of people came to me and said, "Oh, the food does taste better." And so healthy food doesn't necessarily to compromise with the taste. So
Mhm.
that's the beauty. And yeah, so
I love
I
that.
guess I talk a little too much.
Oh, not at all. That's
Yeah.
great. Thank you for that. Um, and if you're just joining, today we have Michelle here from VitaClay. She's the founder, and we're talking about clay pots and we're talking about healthy cookware. And we also have Kate here, and we're going to be talking about skincare in just a few minutes. And the flow of this call, we're going to go back and forth, touching on skincare, touching on healthy cookware, just to kind of see the correlation between what we put on our skin matters just as much as what we put in our bodies that affects our skin. And also, if you're just joining, we do have two specials today. We're doing 20% off at VitaClay with code ANNMARIE20, and then we're also doing 20% off Amory skincare products with code ASC Vita20. So enjoy those. Thank you, Grace, for putting them in the chat. And I am going to move over to Kate here, and let me pin you so we can see you here. And Michelle, we're going to come back to you in just another minute here. So Kate, let's talk about skincare. Do you want to touch on, so we have a few people here from VitaClay who came over to join. If you were talking to someone about just, what's your products that you would recommend? Someone's brand new to the line and they want to rid themselves of toxic products. What's a simple starter routine? What would that look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. And first of all, welcome to anyone who's new to us. We're super excited to see you. When we're talking about a basic routine with Anne Marie Skincare, we're typically talking about four anchor products. So your cleanser, your toning mist, your serum, and your oil. We've got a ton of other products that can round out your routine, but to get started and kind of transitioning yourself into our line, starting with four products is a solid way to go. I like to recommend the Aloe Herb Cleanser. This one is a staple. This cleanser is great for pretty much any skin type, specifically supporting skin types that are dry, skin types that are aging, skin types that might run sensitive. Lots of different skin types really, really benefit from the feel of this one. So starting with the Aloe Herb Cleanser. Coming into your toning mist next. Now, I'm not going to make it super complicated. We've got several, but a very basic one is our neroli. This one, of course, has neroli essential oil. This is anchored in this very beautiful aloe vera juice. It provides this light burst of hydration. It also very much supports the serum and the oil and how those feel with the skin. From there, you can either let that dry, you can leave your skin a little bit damp. I like to leave my skin super damp. Another very, very widely applicable serum is the anti-aging serum. So this one has hyaluronic acid. It's got this beautiful floral composition. This is working to soften the skin. And so this is one that's also super tried and true, great for lots of different skin types and great as a starter serum. From there, we've got a couple options. So our fourth step is our moisturizer. You can go the route of an oil, in which case the anti-aging facial oil is classic. This is a jojoba-based oil, and this provides this very, very pure, natural feeling form of moisture. You could also go with a cream. This is a fairly new product of ours, but our restorative facial cream, this is a very, very easy to absorb, easy to apply facial moisturizer. If you want to get wild, you can do both. I'm kind of a fan of both. I'll do a pump of one and then a pump of the other, but you absolutely don't have to. The cream is really nice because this covers a lot of anti-aging basics. And also, with this being in this cream formula, if oil's new to you or oil might feel a little bit uncomfortable, this is going to be what supports you. This feels awesome. So I would start there. If you aren't sure, you can also join us for a consultation or join me for a personalized consultation. And Grace, I don't know if you want to link either of those in the chat. Um, but that could get you started there.
Awesome. Thanks, Kate.
Hmm.
And also, just if you were to pick a couple of nice to haves, like what are those top few products just for these people who haven't heard of the brand and you want to just plug in a couple of products, what would they be?
Uh-huh. The eye cream.
Okay, of course.
Anti-aging eye cream, love. I think everybody needs this in their routine, whether you're older, whether you're younger. This is just a phenomenal eye product. The products that we've talked about, of course, but then also the illuminating pearl mask.
Of course.
I know everyone's like, we talk about this mask all the time. Super, super, super great for dry skin, great for sensitive skin. For any skin type, it provides this very natural luminosity. With the crushed pearl powder that's in this, skin just takes on this very radiant glow to it. And so I love recommending this pretty much for anyone. There isn't really a skin type that's contraindicated for this one. And it just provides such a lovely, lovely glow to the skin. And then I think the final one I'd recommend at this point in time is the Sun Love. Sun Love for daily wear. This provides this beautiful sheer glow to the skin and then is also protecting the skin from UVA, UVB rays. So this one is a reef-safe sunscreen. This is a non-comedogenic, hypoallergenic sunscreen. We're using a zinc oxide in this one, and it's a non-nano zinc oxide, which means this is not going to penetrate into the bloodstream. This stays exactly where we want it. And so this one for pretty much daily wear. Or if you're going to be like going out in the sun, later in the day or more than once in the day, of course, reapply. But I think those three are the nice to haves as well.
I like it. Thanks,
Yeah.
Kate. I appreciate that. Okay, we've had quite a few people join in the past 5 minutes. So welcome everyone. Today we're talking about cookware, putting healthy cookware into your life so that you're, putting great things in your body, and then also skincare. We have Michelle here from VitaClay, the founder, and then also Kate, our in-house esthetician at Amory Skincare. So let's dive into our first giveaway. We're going to be giving away one of our Restore trial sets from Anne Marie Skincare.
Oh my gosh.
If you can put in the chat, what cookware are you currently using? I want to know. And then Grace is going to pick a winner in a couple of minutes. And then also, if you've just joined, there are some special offers, 20% off both brands in the chat. Okay, let's see what we have here. All Clad, Green Pan, Stainless Steel, Caraway, Green Pan. I've never heard of Green Pan. I want to know what that is. Our Place, I've heard of that one. Stainless steel ceramic. Green pans. Cast iron. Green pan.
Green pan. They are metal pot cooking multi-cooker. They have a glaze coating on the surface. It's called a ceramic coating. I guess, a lot of people buying that. The difference between clay and the glazed metal cookware is our clay is unglazed, is breathable.
Mm-hmm.
Clay, you can breathe, and the food actually delivers a better taste. That's the key, and more nutrients retained compared to low heat cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So ours is bring to the simmer to the perfection. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and also when I was on the journey of like just looking at different cookware, so many were aluminum coated. Uh,
Yeah.
even stainless steel, it's aluminum coated. So just one little scratch or just a little bit of time, you're going to tap into that aluminum pretty quickly. So,
Especially when you cook acidic food. Uh,
okay.
yeah, acidic food will, make the interaction with the coating very easily, quickly, even the stainless steel. So ideally, we do not recommend people cooking acidic food and in the metal because the interaction very easily. So because acidic, clay is the most least the reaction to reacting to your food in a way that acidic food, so it's more stable elements that so you don't have anything bleach into the food.
Yeah, 100%. Great. Okay,
Yeah.
Grace, do we have a winner?
We do have a winner. So our first winner, which I'm going to try and pronounce this as best as I can, is Lady Naberry's Comlink. So that's very exciting. So I will put that name in the chat so you guys can see. We do have a quick form to fill out for our giveaway winners. That's just general contact information so I can get your product sent to you as soon as possible. So please fill that out and that will be in the chat as well.
Amazing. Thank you, Grace. We've had about 15 people join in the past 5 minutes. So if you're just joining, we are talking about VitaClay, a cookware. Michelle is the founder here. We're going to be talking to her a little bit more in just a second. Just learning about, what we're putting in our bodies. And then also we have Kate here, Amory Skincare's in-house esthetician, and talking about skincare. So we have both groups of people. We have our VitaClay customers and our Emery Skincare customers. So it's kind of exciting to get to talk about both things. We're doing a few more giveaways. We're going to be announcing the grand prize giveaway winner of our VitaClay 7-in-1 and the ASC Restore gift set in just a little bit. What else am I missing? We are doing 20% off both brands. That will be in the chat. And then also, if you have questions, plug them into the chat. We're going to try to get to them towards the end, but also we have a couple of team members on both parts. You might see Jacinda popping in to answer some questions, and Grace and Kate will be popping in to answer questions as well, and I'll do my best. So let's keep moving. Okay. So, Michelle, I want to talk a little bit about your routine and what you use. I have the VitaClay as well, and I've been using it for some things, but I want to hear from you. Like, what are your favorite skin-loving foods that you cook in your kitchen?
I always, incorporate, combine the balance of the yin and yang balance. So when you cook a bone broth, my favorite, chicken soup or turkey soup on a weekly basis, I do that all the time. So I do add the celery, onion, carrots. It's an easy way and the spices to make a very delicious soup and comforting and really nourishing. You feel better, you feel less stressed, you feel more energy. So when I start in the morning, I love to make a power smoothie, but it's not cold, it's warm. So I sometimes blend lemon. I always include my lemon in there. So I include sometimes with a apple, sometimes with the vegetables, even carrots or some kind of yellow root vegetables, pumpkins or squash. I cook them first and I blend them. My most favorite food is the beets. I cook in the pot all the time. Beets is such a powerful food, and it's so easy to cook in the clay. I cook in the batch. So I, 6, 7, I cook together, and I slice them into the jar, and add a little apple cider vinegar to keep up for the week. And each morning, I do blend with
Okay, we might be losing Michelle just a little bit, but that
apple.
sounds really yummy. Michelle, I think we might be losing your internet. So I'm going to tap in.
Some apple, some, and I also add moringa. Yeah, and so
Okay, hold on. Let me just check in with her, make sure her internet's good. Um, we have the VitaClay here, and I'm not the cook, I'm the baker, which probably isn't great. But my husband's been cooking, and he'll make soups. And somebody asked in the chat, kind of what's the best thing to cook with the VitaClay? And does this replace your pots and pans? And Jacinda has mentioned this is more of a slow cooker. So just to back up here, it's a slow cooker. There's multiple different options that you can choose from. We're talking about the 7-in-1, which I think is great. I haven't tried the other ones. And Michelle, you can speak to them after if you want. But it's a slow cooker where kind of just like a traditional slow cooker, but with clay. And it's like a very simple, easy to use. So you cook rice. I cooked oatmeal this morning. It takes a short amount of time. And then what Michelle's talking about, I want to hear more of what you're saying. So you add all these veggies and fruits into your slow cooker, and then you puree it afterwards. Oh, I'm going to ask you to unmute. You there?
okay.
There you go.
I apologize. I didn't
That's
realize
okay.
I was mute. So so I blend a smoothie, right? So it's a warm smoothie, and when I boil pot water, and with cooked beets and lemons, everything, sometimes the apple, sometimes it's a pear, and they blend very well. It tastes very good. I also add moringa superfood in there, sometimes chias, really depending on how you feel this morning, but really pump your energy up. I think it's a huge difference, compared to others. Even though people like my mom, she fell, and she often feel tired. So
Mhm.
when I give her this kind of food, she's cheered up. So it's just very cheerful when you feed yourself with a power food. That's my favorite morning routine. I also do the porridge, and the porridge is help you digestion very easily. I know that some people try to stay away from the whole grain, but to me, I use the superfood, lentil, millet, and oats, steel cut oats.
Mm.
They're so tasty, just a handful each, and fill it up 4 times water or 5 times water, and you can add in anything else, make it savory or sweet or any way you like to your taste. It's so easy in 40 minutes. And I just put everything there, water, and come back with the porridge, and very soothing for your stomach. Yeah,
Yeah. And Michelle, we have Anne asking, and I was curious too. Do you peel the apples and the beets and everything before you put it
I
in?
do. I
Okay.
do. I do.
So you
Yeah.
peel everything, you put it in there, you add water, you cook it, and then afterwards you puree it and eat it.
Yeah, I peel. I when I cook the beets, I already peel the dirty part.
Yeah.
So the apple and the pear, I have a lemon tree. I'm lucky that we have a lot of lemons. I use lemon juice to wash out some of the fruit and vegetables.
Mm.
But I also, when I blend lemon, I include a lemon skin in the smoothie. That's really, the lemon skin is very powerful, but we don't eat it. But when you blend them together, it don't really taste bad at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it really help you digestion too.
Interesting. I like that. I never eat lemon skin unless it's with sushi, which maybe that's weird.
Yeah, I think if you blend them together, that's
Okay.
yeah.
I
And
like that.
yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. I want to look at some of these questions coming here. Someone had asked, is there a recipe? Is this recipe in your cookbook?
I think we had a lot of recipes on the website. You can search, power smoothie, energy smoothie. We have a lot.
Okay.
You can always search.
Nice. Oh, I like that. Okay, great. And just a reminder, everyone, if you have questions, put them in the chat. Grace or Jacinda might be answering, or Kate. And then towards the end, we're going to dedicate some time specifically to answer some questions. So, Michelle, one question that had come up is the types of cookers that you have. Do you want to touch on just like your favorite and why you choose it and other ones and how they vary?
Yeah, okay, so that's the most often, most popular question people ask, why VitaClay, right? So we are combine the best of the both world, the pressure cooking and the slow cooking, using the crocs. Right, so crock create an even cooking, so speed of the pressure cooking, but no pressure. Zero pressure is a sealed cooking, and more nutrients will be retained, sealed inside, instead of a long hour cooking that the nutrients being evaporated, and cooking very efficiently, similar to stovetop, but quicker because the sealed cooking take much less time. So it's a 500% time faster than crock pot,
Mhm.
similar to pressure cooking, but the speed wise, but no pressure. I think the safer, lower temperature simmer than high temperature cooking. Sometimes we do, you if you're very health conscious, so you care about the nutrition in your food retained after cooked. So pressure cooking, sometimes they cook high pressure, meaning high temperature over boiling points. So which means that some certain nutrients become destroyed, and especially some of the nutrients actually become little cancer cause.
Mm.
Uh, MSG from the meat. We recommend a lower temperature cooking, safer, and you have a better nutrients. So that's how I see it, and I read a lot of health journal articles. So
Yeah.
help self-educated. So yeah.
I like that. Yeah, and it definitely does because we cooked steel cook oats, or I cook them often, and it takes maybe 20 minutes. And usually that would take hours on the stovetop. So I do like that it combines best of both worlds. Like it's not true pressure because I don't know how healthy that is, but it is like sealing it so it cooks it a little bit faster. It's really neat.
Yeah. Yeah, the cooker is a kind of a combined the thermal cooking. Once they heat it up, the energy is stored on the clay because you can see the thicker wall of the clay still retain the heat to radiate the food from outside
Yeah.
and from all directions. So the food actually even cooked, so it does have a better texture and the flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I love it. Okay. And if you're just joining, which we've had a couple people join, we are doing two specials. We're doing 20% off both brands. Grace will put those links and codes in the chat. Thank you, Grace, in advance. We're doing a couple more giveaways, and then we are going to be announcing our final giveaway winner in just a little bit. But I'm going to kick it off over to Kate just for one final question. So for all of the, I mean, I guess for our customers too, but for the VitaClay customers, if, we often get emails from our customers talking about some of their top skincare concerns and, addressing some of them. What are some of the things that you're addressing and how would you address them with their products?
Great question. So our line, Anne Marie Skincare, we have products to support anyone's skin at any point in time, but these are what we commonly get kind of curiosity about. Signs of aging, pigmentation, and sensitivity. This is kind of the top inquiry here. For signs of aging, we have a pretty kind of broad way that we could approach this. And signs of aging can look different from one person to another. Generally speaking, though, when someone is coming to me and they are concerned with some sort of sign of aging, I'm going to be starting with our Wild Alchemy collection. In our Wild Alchemy collection, these are the black label products. So when you're browsing the site, you're going to see some with the tan label, some with the black label. The Wild Alchemy collection tends to be a little bit more laser focused as far as addressing certain signs of aging. This is also kind of incorporating ingredients that are sometimes harder to source, or sometimes there's a little bit more involved in crafting certain ingredients. So for certain signs of aging, we're going to be looking to Wild Alchemy collection. For things like creasing and fine lines, I like looking for ingredients like hyaluronic acid and stem cells. You can find hyaluronic acid in our anti-aging serum. You can find both hyaluronic acid and stem cells in our wild fruit serum, this one here. I'm also considering some form of exfoliation. This could be something a little bit more intense, like a physical scrub, or our resurfacing facial exfoliant. This is a lactic acid facial exfoliant. This could also be something more, a little bit lighter that you're using kind of day in and day out, like the activated night serum, this one here. When we're thinking of things like, how we're moisturizing skin that has fine lines, that has creasing, I very, very much love the restorative facial cream. I also particularly love our rejuvenating facial oil. Someone had asked pretty early in the call, this was one of the first questions, if you can use the rejuvenating facial oil in conjunction with the activated night serum, so doing the serum and then the oil. Absolutely. This is a beautiful combo. I'm a huge fan of this. So that's definitely one way to go. The wild fruit serum, we talk about this one all the time. I also really love our concentrated boosting elixirs. This is really supportive for generally any sign of aging. It's a set of three. We've got our hydrate, which is hyaluronic acid, our brighten, which is supportive both for just brightening the skin and for dark areas of the face. This is a pure vitamin C, and our revitalize. The revitalize uses a retinol alternative. So if you're new to our brand, we don't have a traditional retinol. We aren't using retinols, vitamin A derivatives, but we've got this ingredient in the revitalize. This is called our bioactive A that works similarly to a retinol, just very, very much more supportive with the body. This is also the anchor of the activated night serum here. So if you're in the market for a retinol or something that is not a true retinol, but a retinol alternative, those are awesome. Now, for sensitive skin, when we're talking about sensitive skin, we've got a lot of incredibly supportive ingredients, products, ways to build your routine for sensitive skin. This is another really common one. The aloe herb cleanser, which we had mentioned at the beginning, this is a great kind of kickstart for soothing the skin, calming the skin down. Another super support is this toning mist. This is called the Botanical Hydration Mist. It's formulated with some potent anti-agers, got a lot of hydration in it, but then it's also got a lot of chamomile. We've got 4 different types of chamomile in this one. I also really love our hemp serum for super sensitive skin. This is a very creamy, very soft serum. And then moisturizing with our herbal facial oil for sensitive skin is a great way to go. So these are the common, some of the top inquiries that we get. Yeah, and with all of those routines, making sure that you're protecting your skin with your sun love, which I know we mentioned already, it really goes quite far to stave off signs of aging. And that specific sunscreen is also great for sensitive skin. So yeah, that's where I would direct you.
I love that. Thank you. And then we will get to the questions. So I see some questions coming over. We will pop over there and answer those in just a minute. Let's do another giveaway really quick. So we're going to give away another one of our Restore trial sets just for people who haven't tried the brand, or if you have and you want to try more of it, or gift it to your friend. So first question, have you tried our products before? And then second question, what are some of your skincare concerns? or skin concerns as well, and how might they relate to your diet and cookware? And then we'll choose a winner. Okay, we have aging skin. We have a few customers already. It's great. We have someone doing the 21 skin detox. Amazing. I'm on day whatever it is for, and I miss Jerry, but I'm doing it. Um, aging, wrinkles, large pores. Okay, we have a lot of customers here, Amory skincare customers. Great. Pigmentation. I like that we have a few people doing the detox. Amazing. And we'll be doing it again, Beth. Don't worry. You'll have more opportunities. Okay, Grace, do you want to go ahead and pick a winner?
I do have a winner and I'm very excited. I love seeing all the people doing the detox. It's so fun. I'm doing it too. I just love it. Okay. Anyways, our winner is Anya Wears What, which first of all, such a fun name. Love that. So I'm so excited for you, Anya. She has not tried our products yet, so I'm super excited to introduce her to our line. So Anya, I will have a form for you to fill out in the chat, so please keep an eye out for that. But yay, I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. Congrats, Anya. Okay, I think it's the moment we've all been waiting for. We're going to announce the winner of the 7-in-1 VitaClay. If you haven't seen it, we have sent out a lot of emails, and so has VitaClay around this giveaway. It's the 7-in-1 and then also the Restore set from Emery Skincare. So Grace, do you want to dive into that one?
Yes, I do. So our this is such an exciting giveaway. I was like at one point I was like, man, I wish I could enter that because like how fun. But our winner is Terry Hilger. So Terry, we really hope you're on this call. I believe you are. I think I saw your name. But I'm so excited for you. What a amazing giveaway to win, kind of into if you've tried our products or not, if you've tried VitaClay or not. It's such a good introduction. So we're super, super excited for you. I will put your name in the chat as well. We will also be emailing you from both sides. So we're just very, very excited for you. So yay.
Amazing. Congrats, Terry. I hope you're on the call to hear this. If not, you might see this later on. Very cool. Oh, I love that. Okay, we're going to do a final giveaway. Um, and then we'll open it up for questions and answers with Michelle and Kate. So we need questions around clay cookware, cookware in general, and then also skincare. So our final giveaway, we'll do another gift set of the trial gift set. What is one thing that you've learned on this call? What is one amazing thing that you've learned on this call that your biggest takeaway? I like that. Oh, yes, natural retinol, an alternative. Benefits of clay cookware. Cookware is important for your health. There's so many things coming through here. Airline for sensitive skin. Clay cookware enhanced foods flavor. Recipe. Mine was that recipe too. I like that recipe, Michelle. I'm going to try that because I've been doing smoothies, but I want to do the cooked one. That sounds great. Definitely the VitaClay. Can't wait to try this. Had no idea about clay pot cookers. Sounds intriguing. Yay, cooking with clay pots. Wild Alchemy line is what I need to try. Yes, you do, Kat. I think you're going to. I'm obsessed with it. Pressure cooking, not healthy. Um, clay cookware is breathable. Slow cooking is safer. Cooking at high temperatures can be cancerous. Cooking with clay, never knew. I love that. I love that so many people didn't know about clay cooking. That's amazing. Okay. Very cool. Okay. Grace, how are you doing? You want to choose a winner?
I do have our last winner. So our last winner is Mary Jane Gentry. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. But Mary Jane, you are our last winner. So please fill out the form in the chat. But I am so excited for you. Yay.
Congratulations, Mary Jane. That name. Okay, we just have about 15 minutes left. I'm going to do a little recap of our offers and then we're going to dive into some questions and I will pull them out and I'll ask Michelle and Kate to answer. If you're joining late, we've been talking about VitaClay cookware and then also Emery Skincare. So we have Michelle, the founder of VitaClay here, and then also Kate, our Emery Skincare esthetician. We've been talking about all things healthy, whether it's cookware or skincare, and we're doing two special offers. So VitaClay is offering 20% off, and the code is in the chat, and Emery Skincare is also doing 20% off. That code is in the chat. So check those out. We've done quite a few giveaways and we've talked about all things skincare and cookware, and we're going to dive into some questions. Okay, let's dive into Carol's question. Please explain the difference in the cook pots. I know there's quite a few of them, so maybe don't get into all of them, but Michelle, do you want to touch on the difference between the cook pots that you have?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, maybe was on the mute. So our clay pot, multi cooker combines the best of the both pressure cooking and the crock pot slow cooking. So 500% faster than crock pot and similar to pressure cooking speed, but no pressure. This is safer. So most of cookware in the market, they are aluminum or stainless steel or coated with chemicals. Ours is a pure clay, doesn't have any coating. We glazed with a zisha powder, grease to seal the surface. They are porous and the food can actually breathe during the cooking. So your food is enhanced the flavor and amplify the nutrients, especially when you're cooking herbs. Traditional cooking herbs, it should be in the clay, not any metal, any plastic, anything. So it's kind of make me really sick when I see people cooking plastic steamer in the pot. It's just a growth. But, I hope that everybody get it, cooking naturally and you actually get a better nutrients from the food and nothing introduced to any chemicals from the cookware. So
Thanks, Michelle. And then what about the different pots that VitaClay offers? So you guys have
oh yeah,
things. I
okay.
don't know what they were asking, but maybe people are curious. So
Yeah, so we have quite a few models. So one was our best flagship product is a smart organic multi cooker. It's a 7-in-1. You can do steam, you can do slow cooking, steam food in reheat the leftovers, make a whole chicken in 1 hour, poached chicken, or make a chicken soup in 2 hours. 4 pounds roast or 4 pounds chicken to cook it inside an eight cup multi cooker. You can fit a whole chicken there. You'll be surprised compared to other cookware has to be 6-quart pressure cooker to fit that whole chicken because you need to reserve the space 30% or 25% to build the pressure. Ours, it doesn't need to have a pressure to build up, and the cook very fast to bring to a boil quickly. So it's safer compared to the other crock pot. But okay, so 7-in-1 or 4-in-1. So 7-in-1 including rice cooking, brown rice cooking, slow cooking, soup, stew. You can steam. You can make a lot of different things. It's creatively, vegetable, plant-based, plant root vegetables, anything steam with bamboo insert. You can or ceramic bowl inside. So you can also make a yogurt. And the bone broth is my favorite. So a lot of time, people don't realize how economical using the cooker. So I poach the chicken, or actually I season the chicken and add half cup water inside, and push button for 1 hour. The whole chicken is cooked, and very very tender, moist, and and flavorful. And so you peel the meat, and after that you throw back anything left over, bones, including bones, everything, and fill a full pot of water, push button for soup for 2 hours. Then it's done in 2 hours. You can add vegetable, celery, onion. It's pretty super feel. Onion is very super food too. I always love the onions and everything, celery and carrots. So it's a good combination. Very simple ingredients. You make the food very tasty. Why not? Right? Nothing complicated. So the other part, our 4-in-1 is the basic model. You doesn't have a yogurt setting, doesn't have a delay timer, but a cooking basic, rice cooking, brown rice, white rice. You can cook quinoa as well. You can, make a soup and stew. So for function setting, most of the food takes about only 2 hours less cooking. So it doesn't have a 10 minutes timer of versus the multi cooker. So that's a major difference. It's it does have a lot of bells whistles with a multi-cooker function, multi-cooker 7-in-1. So it comes very handy. A lot of people enjoy them for 17 years so far. Some people, it really depending on how you cook it. And it will become your best friend.
Awesome. Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Somebody had also asked, is it non-stick?
Yes, it is naturally non-stick.
Great.
And so, you don't need to, in case anything you've had a little less liquid had burned, you just
Yeah.
soak it and brush it out with hot water.
Yeah, I didn't know the answer to that, but nothing has stuck to our pot so far. So I'm assuming yes, it's non-stick. That's great. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just scrolling through to see what other questions we have here. So if you have questions for either Kate or Michelle, please add them into the chat. Kate, do you want to talk a little bit about sunscreen? I think somebody was asking that one.
Yeah. So the question that I had seen was, is the sunscreen waterproof? I don't know if another question has come through, and the answer is no. So for us, with our brand and brand standards and brand values, there are a ton of ingredients that we don't include. We've got a super long list, and we're very, very detail oriented with our ingredients. So for us, as far as we have known so far, there isn't an ingredient that fits within our brand standards that's going to create a waterproof formula. So with the sunscreen, if you are submerging yourself, you just want to be extra mindful to wear a hat, to reapply pretty quickly. For pretty much any other activity, jogging, gardening, anything that you're just outside, the sunscreen's perfect for. So even a little bit of sweat, I'll jog every once in a while and I'll wear this, and I have had no issues so far. So, um, to expand on the sunscreen a little bit further, this, of course, uses the non-nano zinc oxide, which I mentioned a little bit earlier, which means that the size of the zinc oxide is exactly what we want. This stays where we want it. It doesn't get into the bloodstream or into the body. One of the coolest things about this sunscreen, maybe in my opinion, is how easily it shears out. Zinc oxide, if you've ever tried a zinc oxide or an iron oxide, a physical blocker sunscreen, when you apply it, it tends to be kind of white cast. It can look really thick. It can look really gloppy. Our formula, I will say it looks white initially, but it shears out super quickly, and then your skin just has this very, very nice glow to it. And that's one of my favorite features about the Sun Love. Sometimes I'm not even going outside, or sometimes it's evening, and I'll apply it just because I like the finish, the way this looks on the skin. So yeah, that's the Sun Love. Was there another question about it, Rachel, or did that
That was
cover it?
it. Yeah, it's
Okay,
funny.
cool.
Sometimes I'll just apply it right underneath just because it gives
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of a sheen. It's really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's two questions here. One is they're definitely needing to try the botanical hydration mist. How often can you use it? I'll just answer that. You can use it throughout the day. You could use it right before you apply your serum and your oil. You can mist yourself when you're feeling a little dry or you want a little pick me up. So yeah, more the merrier. And then the other question, which I'll pass to you, Kate, is there a scrub that should be used for exfoliation? I'm using a cleanser, serum, and oil.
A scrub that should be used for exfoliation. Well, we've got a couple, and so we could narrow it down further, maybe based on your skin type, but I'll mention two that, and one will likely be a good fit for you. The first one is this one. This is called our Radiant C Mask and Polish. And if you've never heard us talk about this one before, this one is a loose, dry powder. So when you get it and you pour a little bit out either in your hand or in a jar, this is kind of what it looks like. This one is a great one for pretty much any skin type because you can really customize the texture. You can add more water and have it be a little bit softer. So if you do run really sensitive or you get, your skin gets activated really easily, starting with more water and having just a light polish is a great way to go. You can, of course, add less water and then have a little bit more of a textured scrub for the face, which is also awesome. This is a really cool product because you can use it in a lot of different ways. Aside from being the scrub, you can also use this as a mask. And this is a really, really lovely mask. You can mix this into another cleanser, which is a great way to go as well. So you've got a little bit of versatility with how you use that scrub. Now, the other one I want to mention is this one. This is the Kaolin Micro Exfoliant. This is a little bit more textured. We use a crushed bamboo stem in this one. So I often will say, picture a face scrub. And likely the texture that comes to mind is going to be similar to what we've got going on in here. It's got just like a good amount of grit to it. This one is also great for most skin types. The only potential exception would be if you are really sensitive. That grit level in here can be a little bit much, but if your skin's fairly normal, even on the normal sensitive side, excuse me, this one feels awesome on the skin. So one of those could be a great one to incorporate. If you aren't using an exfoliant, I definitely recommend it. I recommend exfoliating for every single skin type. Start with one time a week. Depending on the product you've got, you might be able to do twice a week. You might back off to every 10 days. You can really kind of explore what feels good with your body and with your skin at that point in time. But yeah, one of those two I think is going to be great for you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So I want to close with this one last question because I feel like Instapot is quite popular. Someone asked, is VitaClay better choice to use than Instapot? And we had just Jacinta answer here. And I also want to speak to, I had an Instapot here that I ordered and I hadn't used it yet. And I was hesitant and something was keeping me from using it. And a friend of mine was like, the one who recommended it, she's like, we did the magnet test. It has aluminum, this one, and so it's aluminum pretty much. And then it has stainless steel. So I returned it because I hadn't used it and I was able to. And then I met Michelle, I think a week later, and I got the VitaClay. So Michelle, do you want to touch on that a little bit, how the VitaClay differs from the Instapot?
Yeah, I think our clay pot cooking, the lowest temperature, I don't know, pressure cooking. So pressure cooking is over 200, I think 230, 240 temperature Fahrenheit. Ours on the highest temperature is boiling point, and they become simmer. Actually, the total consumption of the energy in the cooking process actually save energy by half compared to crock pot. So our we want to make sure no pressure. The pressure really not just because it's scary. I think it's just not natural, but you do get a very soft texture. But if you cook in clay, you can tell the difference. I guess it's just very personal. I never use pressure cooker. I never bought one. So yeah, and the people who actually were converted people came from to us and they say that yours is better. Oh, so nice to hear that. But I hope that you feel the same too. So if you're grounding with clays, and it back to the help you grounding and help you back to the nature. So
I love that. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. I hadn't used the Instapot yet, but I'm glad I returned it and got this one. I love the VitaClay. It's great.
thank you.
Okay. Well, we only have 1 minute left, so I'm not going to dive into anything else. But I just want to remind everyone there are two codes. Grace, if you want to paste those into the chat one last time. So don't forget to get your VitaClay. I highly recommend it. It's a really good piece of cookware, and I feel like you don't need a lot else. You can just have that one for slow cooking. Yeah. And Amory Skincare, we're also doing 20% off. And thank you. It was great to have you. And thank you, Michelle, for joining us. And thanks for Kate for all of your knowledge. So have a great rest of your morning and afternoon, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.